We're fishing with Captain Jot Owens. He's a lifelong Carolinian that fishes right here in the Wilmington area. Sometimes we're fishing with him in the past. You've seen us out there at Wrightsville Beach, but today we're fishing the Cape Fear River with him, and we're targeting striped bass. Jot and I met years ago on the boat show circuit. We both worked for Ranger Boats back in those days, and I could tell immediately when consumers would come into the booth, because I was more of the traveling pro and he was the regional pro, that he could articulate all what was necessary for them to actually buy the boat, which was rare for a fishing guide or even a professional fisherman. He really went to great lengths to learn everything about the boat, the way it was made, the warranty, everything, and how he set his boat up, and it gave the customer a lot of confidence. And I thought right then, Jot Owens is the guy that's going to be in this business for a very long time. Here we go.
That's him. That's a striper.
Here we go. Big enough for a net?
No. They pull good either way though.
Yeah.
He hit that thing good and hard. Yeah, that's a little better than I thought it was actually.
Net?
Yeah, let's just be on the safe side. Get a good shot on this fish here. Just be on the safe side.
Oh yeah, nice little striper. Nice. Well done.
Very nice fish.
All right. Good looking fish, man.
Healthy, very healthy fish.
We did a show, I'm gonna say probably 2 seasons ago in Alabama with one of my friends, Graham Taylor, and we just caught some of these whopper sized fish, but we weren't catching them on artificials, we were catching them on gizzard shad.
Oh yeah, the big dog.
Big ass.
Yeah.
Good looking fish.
Healthy fish.
You know, we nicknamed them there. We nicknamed them zebra snook.
Zebra snook. They pull so daggone good, huh?
They pull so good. That's a gorgeous looking fish.
Yeah. So see, I'd call this a medium fish.
Yeah.
You know, I've caught them up to 30 pounds in this river, but not very often. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, three in my life over 30. This fish is probably 25, maybe 26 inches long. But this is your average medium fish. This is your fun fish.
You know, on light tackle, that's a great battle.
They pull great.
They're
really great pulling fish for their size. They are. They really are. Well, let's throw them back and
put that one back in the drink and
find us another one.
And let's go do that a couple more times. We didn't come out here in this cold weather for nothing.
Absolutely.
I live in Florida, and even though I live more in north central Florida where we're above the frost line and it gets pretty cool, when we got up to Wilmington, it was remarkably cold, and Jot had very comfortable weather the week before we were there. Now all of a sudden we're faced with this frigid, the Polar Express, if you will, cold front that comes in and just kind of frosts over the boat every morning and just really just chills that water down by like 10 degrees, and we really didn't know what to expect.
So striper fishing around Wilmington, it's definitely a year-round fishery, but I like to do it in the wintertime because I feel like the fishing gets a little better in the wintertime because the fish get concentrated downriver. The fish kind of spread out during the summertime and you catch them literally all over the place. But in the wintertime, they come downriver and concentrate lower, closer to Wilmington and the creeks and channels down there. And when that water temperature starts to flirt with the low 60s, mid to low 60s, those fish start to really pour down there. And by the time it gets to the upper 50s, most of the fish that are going to be there are in that area. And that usually translates to around December. Sometime in December. It's pretty good in November as well, but December is when it gets the best. And that's when I'll change over from fishing down at Wrightsville in the saltwater area and start doing the brackish water fishing for the stripers and the Cape Fear. Got him? There you go. There you go. Thank you for catching him, CA.
I mean, he hammered it.
He hammered it?
He
Yeah.
hammered it.
I had a good bite a minute ago. I just missed him. Nice try. That's the right species. Ooh, nice fish, CA. Got a nice head.
I've got a stick.
Yep.
I've got a stick.
Fish. Beautiful. Oh, and look at that. That's why you keep the line tight. That
Every
is why
time.
you keep the line tight.
Bounces out right there.
Right there, yep. This fish has got some shoulders, got some belly.
It's a wide body.
Yeah, it's a wide body.
Not a long fish, but it's a wide body fish.
And this is a great moment to mention something to everybody. A lot of people don't know this is a big misconception with stripers. Striper has a lot of broken lines. It's
Yes.
not a hybrid. Real stripers can have broken lines and do have broken lines.
Yeah, I didn't-
You see it a little bit more in farm race fish,
Yeah.
and a lot of these fish are stocked.
Yeah.
But this is a true striper. It just has broken lines, and a lot of people don't know that. But you can have broken lines in a normal striper, in a straight species.
That's black and gold.
Yeah, you tie that on, it looked good.
One switch and it turned it on.
Boom, and he hammered it hard. Woo. Nice, very nice.
Felt like I got electrocuted.
Very nice, beautiful fish.
Yeah, it is. They got a broom tail.
Yeah, they do. They're made for power.
They are made for
you know,
power.
yeah.
They're fun to catch, especially in this current.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
One thing I would say that impressed me a lot, and I did have a little bit of experience with striper fishing because over the years I've had a few chances to catch some freshwater stripers, is the power that they possess for their nominal size. Now I know striper get to be this big, but we're talking about those 4, 3.5, 4, all the way up to 6-pound striper. And they fight an awful lot like a big snook. They've got that big tail, big knuckle on it. They're really strong and they're aggressive. And it is a no doubt strike. It's not like a tap. It's like you might get bumped once and then they clobber it, but they're hammering it. I mean, it was pretty impressive. And on the type of tackle that we were throwing, I felt like they put up one hell of a fight. There he is.
There he is. Okay. Get out of your way. See where you, okay, I see you now. Okay. Gotcha. You get the net?
Looks like a red.
And it is.
You
want to grab him or scoop him? It's decent size.
Yeah, it's a good red.
Yeah, let me
It's a good red
let me
fish.
get the net just in case.
I mean, that's a big bait.
Dang right.
And I mean, he choked it.
He choked it. That's awesome. It's good to see. Little bonus fish there.
Wow.
Nice. Beautiful.
I mean,
nice
a
spots,
chunk.
color.
Chunk of a red. We'll pull him up on the front deck.
Yeah, absolutely. Whew. Beautiful fish, CA. Beautiful fish.
That thing, I mean, clobbered it.
Man, he
I
did.
thought for sure we had a striper there, my friend.
Yeah, he had no problem with that
That's a 5-inch swim bait.
God, it's gone.
And
There we go.
he choked it.
He did. He had that thing.
He choked it. That's
Yeah,
a
that
good
thing
sized
down.
swim bait.
Yeah, I mean it is.
That is not a little lure. And he hammered it. Look at just the depth of that fish. He's such a healthy
Beautiful
fish.
color.
Gorgeous fish.
Got the copper and the little bit of teal there around the eye.
And you guys call them puppy drum. You don't really call them redfish like we do down in the deep south there. You guys call them puppy drum.
We're hearing more redfish swing.
Are you? Yeah.
As time goes on.
Well, it also wouldn't be a show if we didn't catch a redfish. Sometimes I think back over all the seasons that we have fished on Flats Class Television, and 18 seasons in, and it's rare. I mean, I'm gonna say probably, even when we're targeting stuff that has nothing to do with redfish, except for bass, we end up catching redfish. And lo and behold, we caught a few in this episode too.
Got him.
Striper or redfish?
Might be redfish. Yep, little redfish.
It's a little redfish.
Yep.
It's a little redfish.
And he hammered it like a dang striper, buddy.
Tell you what, he's got one heck of an attitude to be able to take a bait that big.
Man, he did. He lipped that thing like a chum. He rammed it with his mouth and got him hooked right up under the jaw.
Buried it in the bottom.
He did, yeah.
Buried it in the bottom.
He's a little chilly feeling too.
Yeah, I bet he is.
He's a little chilly feeling too.
I bet he feels like he's an icebox fish.
Pretty little fish. Beautiful
A fish stick. Well, you did say we'd have a few opportunities to catch not only some drum, but, you know, puppy drum, but flounder, stripers, everything up here in the river.
Yeah, it's the water temperatures are kind of right on the verge where these fish start heading down river. But I thought here in the little bit shallow water, if we had a chance, this is where we'd see one, and one turned up. He bit pretty hard for his size.
Sure did.
He almost had me fooled for a striper. But anyway, good to see healthy fish, beautiful colors in these river fish, a little darker than our ocean fish.
You can see it in their fins.
Yeah, beautiful fish indeed. There he goes. Awesome. Let's get another one.
Let's do it.
Got it. Gosh, got him. Got him. Woo! He hit it twice, thank God. Good fish.
Getting
good
out
fish.
of your way.
Yep. Hit it twice. I thought I missed him on the first hit.
Slow gear ratio here.
It's good fish. Feels like.
I'm gonna get the net.
Yeah. Coming to you.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh, you guys are gonna love this one. Whoa. That is a good one. That one looks like it's got a tag.
It did. Somebody already caught him and cut it off. Hey, look at there. Look at there.
Oh my goodness. Look what's in his mouth.
Oh my gosh.
These striped bass feed like Jack Crevalle do. It's like they're not ever gonna get filled up. In fact, one of the striped bass that Jot caught had about a 6 or 7 inch mullet in its maw, in its craw. It was like head first, tail sticking out of his mouth, and he still hit a big 5-inch Z-Man Hercules minnow. I mean, it's impressive when you see fish that are that aggressive in those type of conditions, high barometer, blue skies, chilly water, and still whacking baits like that. That's some good stuff. So that was a tagged fish.
That was a tagged fish. Yeah, somebody else cut it off.
You can see the tag right there.
Yep, somebody else cut it off.
That's the second time he's been caught.
Yep, third. Good to be tagged.
That's right.
Let's get him back in the water.
Let's get him back in the water. I want to keep doing this.
Yeah,
this is fun.
These are fun fish. You're getting a little better.
Yeah, man, it's getting better.
So like ideal conditions for these stripers in the Cape Fear River are gonna be, water temperature for me is gonna be anywhere from 60 to 50 degrees. It can be in the 40s and you'll catch them, but I like it to be in the 50s. Less rain, less wind, clear waters. The water's already pretty brown, but you get that sweet tea clear look. That's the best. And then you put on top of that a good tide flow. And it can be rising, it can be falling, but find breaks or seams in that tide line or on those tides, and you're gonna find those fish, creek mouths, drop-offs along the river, reed grass lines where you know that there's gonna be a couple steps of drop-off. As long as you have that current, icing on the cake, you're gonna see some bait up there, gonna see some mullet jump in, and then that's gonna kind of full circle to what you're looking for.
It's kind of cool to see the mullet in his mouth.
Gosh dang, yeah, man. I mean, that's a lot of, that's a lot of mullet. That's awesome to see though, just tells you you really can't throw too big. Got him.
Right here.
Right there, man. Right there, man. He whacked it. He whacked it right there.
That was awesome.
That was about to pull that lure out of the water. Oh, do we get the trolling motor?
That little Hercules and that Houdini color has been money.
It has been.
Just that size, that 5-inch size.
Yeah. It's a lot of bait
right
for 5
there.
inches.
Yeah, and it's heavy, but it's a good bait. It's a good bait and it gets the job done. It's caught fish of various sizes too. I mean, we threw a little bit of the black and gold with that same 5-inch Herc, did good. We've been throwing the Mulletron. It's been doing well.
I mean, reds from 18 inches to
2 foot.
2 foot. Yeah.
It's been catching fish.
It's biting me. Let go, dude. Woo! So for this fishery, we throw bigger baits, 5 and 6 inch baits. And I like that so the stripers can find them. But you will catch other species up here. We see redfish quite a bit, sometimes some flounder, every once in a while, maybe even a speckled trout. And it's interesting to see those fish with a little bit smaller mouths eat those bigger baits. You do get some swing and misses. This can be a 50-50 catch sometimes, where you might have 20 bites and only catch 10 fish because you're throwing those big baits, but those big baits do draw out the bites. Got him. Fish was shallow.
That was tight.
Yep, that fish was really tight.
I mean, it's like you just threw it in there.
No, it's a
fish.
Baby redfish.
Hit a 5-inch
I think so.
Hercules? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. That's why I hit it, because it's a redfish.
I mean, he hit that thing
Oh,
immediately.
no. Mr. Flounder.
Mr. Flounder.
Mr. Flounder. Yep, look at that. He's barely hooked.
I would have never guessed. Man. I would have never guessed.
Oh, you never know what you're going to see in December in North Carolina in the river.
You've already got a winter slam.
I swear.
You get a grand slam if you get a speckled trout.
Trout, I swear. In the net, in the net, in the net.
It's hard to believe that you can throw a 5-inch bait like that.
Yeah, and he actually hooked better than I thought he was. I could have lifted him, but I saw so much hook because the hook's so big that I didn't think he was hooked that good. Got a little bit wrapped up in the net here, but I think we get it out there pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's
there we go. Yeah, no, look at
that's
that.
A real hook.
Look at that. Look, think he had that?
Yeah, he had it. He wasn't getting off.
Ooh.
Well, it doesn't happen all the time, but in this particular episode, Jot just stirred up that magic that he always conjures up. And he ended up getting what we would call the Cape Fear River Slam, where he got a speckled trout, he got a flounder, he caught a redfish, and he caught striped bass. Caught 4 of those fish. And to do that in the same day just does not happen, especially when you consider basically throwing the same lure all day. It wasn't like we changed things up that much in this episode. We pretty much fished with these big swim baits. And for him to stay with a swim bait that would accomplish or tease into biting and sighting strikes from all 4 species, that was pretty amazing. Well, our trip to Wilmington, North Carolina was just fantastic. It's just one of those pretty little southern towns where the fishing's good, the food's good, and the company that we were hanging out with, the Owens, both Jot Sr. and Jot Jr. there, or who Jot Sr. calls Little Jot. It was an amazing trip, and we enjoyed it, and we can't wait to get back there sometime soon. So, fishing with Captain Jot, before I made my move up there to Wilmington, he told me to bring some larger swim baits that could hold down in some depth and some current for us to go striped bass fishing. Now, he on one hand always uses a heavier jig head in that 3/8 to 1/2 ounce size with a big 5-inch tail, sometimes 4-inch, sometimes 6-inch, but 5-inch tail is what he told me. So I decided to bring the Mulletron line through, the LT version, and the 5-inch Hercules baits. These 2 baits, when I use them here in Florida, especially for snook, larger redfish, sometimes the big jacks, they do a fantastic job, even tarpon. But to throw a lure of that size in that type of water and current and be able to get a good hook set, because you're talking about some heavier gauge wire hooks on these baits, you're gonna need a stick. So this is a 7'6". This is a Fitzgerald Aquafin. I've got it paired up with a 4000 Shimano Twin Power XG. This is a 7.5 foot rod. It's medium heavy. It throws everything well between 1/4 and 3/4. This lure right here weighs 5/8, so it's right there in the sweet spot. I've got this spooled up with 15-pound diamond moss green fishing braid, and I've got a section of about 4 feet of 30-pound leader. Now, on the rod that I was swinging all day long, I've got this Stunner HD. This is another Fitzgerald rod to throw these big mullet LT, these 6-inch baits. Now, this is a heavy action rod, and it really throws these types of baits well because you need a heavier power to throw that big 6-inch bait. It has a faster taper on this particular rod. I've got 30-pound braid and I've got 40-pound leader on here, about 3 feet of it. And it just does a fantastic job whether I'm fishing for striped bass in Wilmington or I'm fishing for the big snook here on Florida's Nature Coast. But I've got that paired up with this is a Tranx 150 HG. This is the, if I remember right, this is a 6.3 gear ratio. So it was easy to have that slow, steady cadence on the retrieve and keep this thing at a maximum depth to catch fish. If you employ some of the techniques and tactics that we used with Captain Jot, you too will be successful on the Cape Fear River catching striped bass next winter.